Good Tuesday morning, everybody. This is Stephen Ray. The entire northern portion of the entire United States is currently under either a heat advisory or a excessive heat warning, and this goes from all the way from central Montana near the Great Falls, Montana area, all the way down to just north of New Orleans and then east all the way to near Athens, Georgia. And so there is a huge heat wave ongoing across the entire country of the United States and in central Alabama, northern Alabama, and southern Alabama. That is no different. Now, in about 30 minutes at 11 a.m., a heat advisory goes into effect for the following counties. They are in the orange shaded area, including Hamilton, Fayette, Jasper, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Demopolis, Selma, Montgomery, Clanton, Alexander City, Auburn, Troy, and Eufaula. For the potential of heat indices at or near 105 degrees through 7 p.m. today. So take extra precautions if you are working or spending time outdoors. This also includes a portion of the Tennessee Valley and a portion of southeast Alabama down towards Troy, Auburn, and Eufaula, Alabama. Now, here are the forecast maximum heat indexes for this afternoon. Tuscaloosa 106, Montgomery 106, Selma 106, Troy 103, Eufaula 105, Hamilton 102, Jasper 106. It is going to be nasty. It is going to be awful. It is going to feel very, very dangerous outside later this afternoon and this evening across the entire state of Alabama. Now, here are some tips on how to keep you and your family safe from the heat, deaths, and illnesses. Heat related deaths are preventable. Always remember to look inside your car in the back seat before you lock. Now, if an outside temperature is just 80 degrees outside, the temperature in your car after 10 minutes goes to 99 degrees. After 20 minutes, it increases to 109 degrees. 30 minutes, it increases to 114 degrees, and an hour left in your car with an outside temperature of 80 degrees. Inside your car, 125 after an hour of being outside in the heat. And we're expected to see temperatures, regular temperatures today, 90 to 94 degrees. So you can only imagine how much hotter it is going to be inside your car. So deaths are preventable. Now, for your pets out there, animals can die of heat stroke within 15 minutes of being died. Cracking the window inside of a car does not help. The inside still gets dangerously hot. During hot weather, make sure that you keep your pets at home and inside. And if you see a pet in an unattended vehicle, do not leave them until the problem has been resolved. Now, I hate to bring this up, but look before you always lock. Hot cars and children's safety. 100% of these deaths can be avoidable. Now, every single year in the summer, unfortunately, 38 kids die because of being left in a hot car. And they are in an unattended vehicle. 88% of those are ages 3 to 5 years old and under. 88% of those were 3 years and under. And remember, 54% of those were forgotten by the caregiver. So once again, always make sure you look before you lock your doors to make sure you don't have any pets or children in your vehicle. Now, you also want to know the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. There is a big difference. The left over there on is the heat exhaustion. The right is the heat stroke. And I'm going to actually zoom in here just a little bit more so that you can actually see what these side effects are. And basically, if you are having a heat exhaustion, get into a cooler, air conditioned place, drink water, drink water if you're fully conscious, take a cold shower or cold compress. Now, if you have a heat stroke, make sure you call 911 immediately, take immediate action to cool the person and stay with them until help arrives. So that is the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And once again, there is your from the CDC how to protect yourself and your skin from the sun. And you definitely want to do that on a day like today where it's extremely hot. Make sure that you have a SPF sunscreen of 15 or better to protect your skin, and seek shade under a tree during the midday hours if you can. Now, let's go up to the Tennessee Valley for the places like Florence and Russellville, Alabama, also Huntsville and Coleman. Now, the heat advisory for the Tennessee Valley does not go into effect until noon today. However, as you can see, Florence, Tuscumbia, and Sheffield, your heat index is going to be around 105. And Russellville, your heat index is going to be around 103. So, once again, the heat advisory in the Huntsville market for the Tennessee Valley is only going to be for the far northwestern portions of Alabama. This will not include Coleman, this will not include Huntsville, and this will not include the Fort Payne area. But the heat index is still going to be hot, but the only heat advisory is going to be basically for Lauderdale, Colbert counties, and points off to the west over there. Don't leave kids or pets in vehicles, as we've already talked about. Drink plenty of water when outside. Make sure you dress in light colored loose fitting and avoid strenuous activity during the hottest part of the day, which is basically noon until 7 p.m. this evening. And as you can see, heat indices, even in the Huntsville metro area, are going to be around 102 degrees, and that's just below the heat advisory criteria area. So it's still going to be hot in Huntsville, but it will not be heat advisory criteria. But that does not mean you cannot have a heat related illness due to the heat indexes being so high today. Now, let's go to the other end of the state and check on our friends down in the Mobile area. And once again, down there, just like in Huntsville, they're going to be under heat advisory criteria, but it's still going to be hot downtown Mobile. It's supposed to see a regular temperature this afternoon of 95 degrees. Gulf Shores, which is on the coast, is going to be 90. Kennesaw, 95. Bruton 95, and Delusion 96. So it's still going to be really hot down there around the South Alabama area. And as you can see, the heat indices down there are going to be anywhere from 106 to 108 degrees. And especially if you are along the I-65 corridor and points off to the north, there across inland South Alabama, it's going to be rather hot today. Andalusia's heat index is 107. Mobile's is 106. Gulf Shores is supposed to be 102. And Tennessee, which is in northern Baldwin County, is supposed to be around 107 degrees right now. But I will tell you that the most dangerous heat is going to be a little bit west of the state of Alabama today. And that's a good thing because the majority of the heat is going to be over across the state of Mississippi. And if you are traveling to the state of Mississippi to do any work today, there's your high temperatures and your heat index values for the state of Mississippi if you are traveling for work over there into far east Mississippi, or if you're traveling over into northern Mississippi, because people do often travel from Alabama into Mississippi to do jobs like for construction, roofing, that kind of stuff. There is your potential high temperatures and your heat index issues in Mississippi if you're traveling over there for any work related stuff this afternoon and this evening. Now, once again, a heat advisory basically is when heat indexes of 105 to 110, or temperatures or regular temperatures of 100 to 105. And hopefully, we're not going to be that high, but once again, they are issued up to 48 hours prior to the heat indexes getting into the critical area. And so that is what a heat advisory means for the area. Now, heat safety tips for you guys, and this comes from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. Reduce, eliminate, or reschedule strenuous activity until the coolest time of the day, which is usually after 7 o'clock in the evening or before 8 a.m. in the morning. The elderly and anyone with health problems should stay in the coolest available places. Once again, wear lightweight, light colored clothing and reflect heat and sunlight, because the light colored clothing reflects the heat and sunlight away from you. Now, your body needs water to cool. Drink plenty of fluids, and please limit and do not drink any alcoholic beverages or caffeinated beverages while working outside. Spend more time in an air-conditioned place to reduce danger from the heat. And sunburn, make sure you reduce your body ability to dissipate the heat. So make sure, once again, you do practice the protect your skin in the summertime, because a sunburn deplenishes and depletes your body's ability to fight off the heat when you do have a heat illness coming at you. Now, once again, there is another health hazard from heat safety. Health hazard, basically heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke. A heat cramp is muscle spasms that result from a loss of large amount of salt and water. The signs are painful muscle cramps and spasms and very heavy sweating. And apply firm pressure on cramping muscles and gently massage with the heat cramps. Now, heat exhaustion, which is very, very common when working outside underneath these very dangerous conditions outside. It is an overexposure of heat and can be a precursor to a heat stroke. Your signs of heat exhaustion is going to be heavy sweating, rapid breathing, dizziness, nausea, and a fast, weak pulse. If this happens, move a person to a cooler environment, apply a cool, wet cloth to as much of the body as possible. Offer sips of water and seek immediate medical attention if anyone vomits more than once from heat exhaustion. And finally, the most dangerous and life threatening one is going to be a heat stroke, a life threatening condition. Your body temperature rises to a temperature of greater than 103 degrees, altered mental state, headaches, confusion, dizziness, and rapid, strong pulse is the sign of a heat stroke, and seek immediate mental action is to seek medical help immediately. Delays can be fatal. Move the victim to a cool and preferably an air conditioned environment, and reduce the body temperature with cool cloths. And do not give any fluids to a person with a heat stroke, because that is the last thing that you want to do. And once again, this is coming from the National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama. So this is a credible source on what to do for heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and heat stroke for days like today and through the remainder of the week, because of the seriousness of this dangerous heat wave that we have ongoing across a good portion of the United States right now. So this is not only for Alabama, this is not only for the state of Mississippi. This basically applies to every single place in the world that deals with excessive heat. So these are a good rule of thumb to have in your phone or back pocket to know what actions to take in the event that you have heat cramps, heat exhaustion, and or a heat stroke. So once again, that is the reason that I wanted to jump here on social media. And there, of course, is your actual high temperatures for today across a good portion of northern, central, and eastern Alabama. Tuscaloosa 93, Hamilton 89, Montgomery 95, Troy 94, and Eufaula 94 as well. And I did want to also mention that you can see in the afternoon there is about a 60 to 80% chance of seeing afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms, but the majority of those will be after 2 o'clock. So the heat will definitely cause a major issue before the storms become available to cool you off. But I will caution you that on days where we do have a heat advisory out there, I do want to caution you that the storms that do develop can and often do produce a lot of deadly, vicious electrical storms with lightning. So one of the most major and major life-threatening issues today is going to be the extreme heat, and then the lightning that is going to be produced by the thunderstorms that do develop today. And I will tell you from past experience, some of the nastiest lightning storms I have ever seen have come on afternoons and days with heat advisories out there. So please keep an eye and an ear to the sky. And if you see lightning, and if you see lightning and you hear thunder, make sure you do go indoors, because from the lightning aspect, these thunderstorms could definitely be a major lightning producer this afternoon and this evening for the state of Alabama. So once again, I did want to also mention that here in about 10 minutes for central Alabama, the heat advisory goes in effect until 7 p.m. this afternoon, until 7 p.m. for maximum heat indexes at or near 105 degrees, from Hamilton all the way down to Troy and Eufaula, Alabama. It is going to be a hot day out there. It is going to be a dangerous day to be outside. Keep your guard up for the latest weather information, and especially keep it tuned for the possibility of a few isolated severe thunderstorms today because of just how nasty and hot the weather is going to be out there. Because with the heat, thunderstorms often do become more nasty the hotter that it is out there. So make sure you have plenty of warning in case lightning or severe flooding comes towards your area. But the biggest thing right now today is going to be the heat advisory and the heat stress, and then a secondary threat is going to be the vicious lightning that could be produced by the heat and the storms today. Guys, I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you right back here this afternoon at 4 o'clock for a drive home forecast. And I can already tell you it's going to be hot, and there's going to be some scattered thunderstorms and showers around the area. Guys, stay safe out there. Be blessed, and I will see you guys right back here on social media, 4 o'clock today, for yet another drive home forecast. All right, if you guys are in the state of Mississippi, I'm about to do a forecast for you guys. All right, guys, it is coming up on 11 o'clock, and I wanted to jump here on social media and show you that all the way from the Canadian border, all the way down to just around the New Orleans, Louisiana area, and then the points off to the east, just off to the west of Athens, Georgia, the entire area that you see either in the pink or the orange shaded areas are underneath a heat advisory or a excessive heat warning, and this does include a good portion of the state of Mississippi. And basically, if you are along the 82 corridor and points off to the north, or if you are along the I-55 corridor and points off to the west, you guys are underneath a very significant area of major dangerous heat this afternoon and this evening. And unfortunately, it's going to be from today and into the weekend. So, once again, down here, let's start if you were along the coast of Mississippi, down here towards Wiggins, Leakesville or Waynesboro, Mississippi, you can see down here that Leakesville, Mississippi is supposed to see heat indexes of around 107 degrees. Waynesboro is supposed to see 105, and Wiggins, Mississippi, around 105 this afternoon and this evening. Now, there is your heat advisory today around the central Mississippi area, and basically this is from the Highway 82 corridor and points all the way down to the south, down towards the Hattiesburg area. And this heat advisory went into effect at 10 a.m. and it will go until 7 p.m. today for the possibility of heat indices, and especially in this orange shaded area of 106 to 110 degrees. And once again, heat exhaustion is likely with prolonged outdoor activity in the orange shaded area, which is basically Greenwood, Yazoo City, Jackson, McGee, and then west of Hattiesburg down there in the Pine Belt area. Now, in the yellow shaded area, high temperatures in the low to mid 90s with heat indices reaching near 105 degrees. So, this is going to be a pretty nasty day today with the event of very, very nasty and dangerous heat likely today, and not only today, but unfortunately through Saturday. Because Wednesday through Saturday, as you can see in the red areas, that does include the Jackson, Mississippi metro area, peak heat indices could be 110 to 115. That is very, very, very uncharacteristic for this time of the year. Now, we always do have heat down here, but not near 110 to 115 degrees. So that is approaching heat stroke potential. And so in the red area there, heat indices and heat stroke is increasingly likely with prolonged outdoor activities. Now, in the orange shaded area that is around that, 105 to 110. And this is for Wednesday through Saturday. And I would not be surprised to see Jackson issue an excessive heat warning, and possibly for the Delta, because heat indices of 110 to 115 is about as dangerous as it can get down here in the South. Now, here are a couple of tips to help keep you, your family, and your pets safe from the heat. Animals can die of a heat stroke within 15 minutes. Cracking the window does not help. The inside temperature still gets dangerously hot. During hot weather, keep your pets at home and make sure you keep them inside. If you see a pet in an unattended vehicle, do not leave until the problem has been resolved. And this comes from NOAA and the National Weather Service. So this is a credible source here. Now, heat-related deaths are preventable. Always look before you lock your doors for pets and children. Now, temperatures today in Mississippi are going to be anywhere from 90 to 94. Now, if the outside temperature is just 80 degrees, after 10 minutes inside of a car, the temperature goes to 99. After 20 minutes, it increases to 109. After 30 minutes of temperatures being just 80 degrees outside, it goes to 114 inside your car. And 1 hour of having a car outside at 80 degree temperatures, 123. You can only imagine how hot it will be with temperatures of 90 to 94 after an hour in the car. That's scary. Now, I hate to bring this up, but every year, 38 kids die by being left in an unattended vehicle. 88% of those are ages 5 and under. Most of those are 3 and under. And 54% of these children were forgotten by their caregivers. That's heartbreaking. Guys, you always have to look before you lock your doors because hot cars and children do not mix. Now, another huge factor is the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. And there is a difference right there on your screen. Now, if you have heat exhaustion, which is on the left here, get to a cooler, air conditioned place. Drink water if fully conscious, and take a cool shower or use a cold compress if you have heat exhaustion. Now, if you or someone gets a heat stroke, which can and often does produce death, call 911, take immediate action to cool the person until help arrives. So that is the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke. This is a serious, serious situation right now that everybody is dealing with across a good portion of the country, from the Canadian border in Montana all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana, and then east to just west of Athens, Georgia. So this is a very, very serious situation for today. Now, here are your regular temperatures this afternoon. Jackson 95, Brookhaven 94, Philadelphia 92, Eupora 91, Columbus 92, Greenwood and Greenville in the Delta 95. Now, let me also say this. The darker green area that you see from Natchez to Columbus and over to Meridian, that is a 70 to 80% chance of scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Now, some of the most dangerous heat related storms come on days like today. These storms that do develop are going to be rather nasty because of one thing: lightning. The hotter it is outside, the more lightning that is produced. So, these storms will contain a lot of electricity today due to how hot it is out there. So, if you need to keep an eye to the sky and an ear to hear thunder, or if you see lightning, make sure you go indoors immediately because these storms today are going to be nasty because of the electricity potential from the heat and the nastiness of the thunderstorms. Because thunderstorms need heat and moisture to develop. And when you have temperatures of 95 with heat indices as high as 106 to 107, that, my friends, is a recipe for an electrical storm. So just note that these storms could produce and contain copious amounts of lightning today, and especially if you are from the Highway 82 corridor all the way down to the coast. And unfortunately, I do have to show this again. Significant heat stress conditions Wednesday through Saturday. The rain chances go down. The heat ratchets up again. And as you can see in the red shaded areas, basically from Cleveland, Mississippi, all the way down to Hattiesburg, heat indices of 110 to 115 are possible each afternoon, Wednesday through Saturday, from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. And like I said, I would not be surprised to see the National Weather Service there in Jackson issue an excessive heat warning for the Delta of Mississippi because of this extremely dangerous and life threatening heat that is coming over the next few days. So, once again, the entire area and a good portion of the country is underneath a heat advisory, an excessive heat warning, or a heat wave. And this does include a good portion of Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa, southern Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and of course, the state of Montana. So, that is the situation that we have ongoing right now. Guys, please, I beg you to take it extra easy outside if you are working today, tonight, tomorrow, or through Saturday in the great state of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Georgia, or any of these other places here that are underneath the orange shade or the pink shade. Now, I intend to do another video for you guys this afternoon in the drive home forecast, and I can almost guarantee you that we are going to have a lot of heat, but a lot of storms out there as well. So, guys, please take it extra easy outside. Once again, heat indices are close to 105 to 110 today, and this heat advisory went into effect about an hour ago, and it will last until 7 p.m. today. I will see you guys right back here at 4 o'clock today with a drive home forecast. Stay safe out there, guys. And as always, God bless. See y'all at 4.